Hello, happy Monday. So I was supposed to do this live yesterday. However, I had, just kidding, it's Tuesday. I still said happy Monday because that's what my paper says. Happy Tuesday. I was supposed to do this yesterday. I had an awful migraine all day yesterday. I think I took two or three naps. I don't remember. I slept for a lot of the day. So that's why I'm coming at you today looking like this. Literally, we are about to head to the gym. I just figured I would pop in and do this real quick. My daughter is sitting right across from me doing school and she's laughing at me. She says my hair looks bad. So apparently my hair looks really bad. It's workout here. I don't care. My shirt has ink stains on it because my husband left a pin in the wash. So I'm full-fledged in workout clothes, looking a hot mess. But I wanted to make sure I brought this to you because I tell you guys I'm going to show up every single week. So I like to show up every single week, even on the weeks like this that is a little bit messier. So the reason I wanted to bring this to you is because I know firsthand how overwhelming it can be when we live in the world of Instagram influencers and Pinterest moms. Everywhere we look, there is a homeschool mom that has her hair and makeup done all the time, and she looks beautiful and gorgeous, and her kids are in all the matching outfits, and her house looks immaculate, like she has house cleaners that come in every single day. And then sometimes we look around and we're like, yeah, I suck at this homeschool thing. Like, that is not my life at all. And I want to tell you that obviously that's not reality. Instagram is 100% a highlight reel. I think I'm one of the very few Instagram or Facebook like homeschool moms that show up looking like this because that is just real life. Again, I'm telling y'all, I'm showing up. We're about to head to the gym. I had a migraine all day yesterday. It is what it is. Sometimes life does not look perfect, and that's okay. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. I am 100% against lazy homeschooling. I am not a homeschool mom that's going to tell you it's okay that you're sticking your kid in front of a video all day. I'm not a homeschool mom that's going to tell you just get it done to get it done. You don't have to put any extra work in. I do think that as a homeschool mom, we have the responsibility to our kids to go the extra mile and teach them well and make it fun and creative. And if not, I don't think we have any business homeschooling. And I am telling that to myself. That is something anytime I'm having a rough season that I just don't want to do the work and I just kind of want to be lazy, I tell myself, like, God entrusted you with this little mind to homeschool them. You need to treat it like a job and do it correctly, not take shortcuts because you just don't want to do it. So the point is, you may not be the mom that throws like all the homeschool parties. You may not be the mom that does the elaborate nature school. I know that is absolutely not me. But God gave every single one of us kids that have unique needs. And He also gave us the unique talents and strengths to meet those needs. Now, sometimes it takes some work to figure out what those are, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. But absolutely, like you have been fitted with your children seamlessly by the Creator. He already knew everything your kid was going to need to thrive, and He put that inside of you. You just have to learn to unlock that. So, if you're watching this and you are a homeschooler, let me know down in the comment section, how long have you been homeschooling and what's your favorite part? I just got an idea from a mom today. I was on Instagram and she had a really cool snowman spelling test thing that she did. And I was like, ooh, that's so cool. Like, I'm going to do that for my kid because my kid also does not like taking spelling tests. So we can learn from each other. I would love to know how long you've been homeschooling. If you have an Instagram handle, feel free to drop it down. I'd love to go follow you. And if you don't know me, my name is Tanya Johnson. I'm the founder of Helping Hearts Homeschool. So what I did is I saw a lot of moms that were unhappy in their homeschool journey and just kind of not understanding how to do it to the best of their ability. They were looking left, looking right. So what I did is I wanted to create a safe space where moms could come and I could teach them how to get a handle on their time, because that's like one of the big things is time management, how to create financial freedom for their families, because as a homeschool mom, finances absolutely can play a part and can also become a stressor. And then I also wanted just to teach them how to put the joy back into their homeschool, because homeschooling is such a fun experience and it is absolutely a journey. It's not rainbows and sunshine. Like, I will never sit and tell somebody I've not had bad days in my homeschool, but overall it is a very pleasant, fun experience if we choose to make it so. So For all the notes for today, I will have a blog linked up above. It will be linked sometime later on this afternoon. And you can go over and you can get all the notes in a written format. There's also a really cool freebie over there for you. So make sure you head over there as soon as it's posted and get that freebie and find your own homeschooling superpowers. So what I want to do today is teach you the SPOT analysis homeschool edition. Now, I did not create this. I did hear this a long time ago in business. However, the SPOT analysis that I was familiar with is not like, it doesn't translate into the homeschool world. So I first heard the SPOT analysis used in relation to homeschooling. And I have her name down here from Tyrene Benjamin. I think I'm saying her name right. If you want to look her up on Instagram, she's at home with Ty. And she talked about the SPOT analysis with concerning homeschoolers. And so that's the first place I heard it. I think it's completely genius. But this makes perfect sense on how to identify your homeschool superpowers using the SPOT analysis. So SPOT would be strength. And the freebie that I have for you today over on the blog is actually a worksheet that you can go through, fill out yourself, and find your homeschool superpowers. Now, if you're watching this and you're like, well, I'm not homeschooling, I guess this doesn't fit to me. If you're a parent in general, again, you have specific superpowers that mesh with what your kids need. So I would still fill it out and kind of see as a parent, what are your superpowers? So SPOT, the first letter in the acronym is S. S would be strength. So strength is something that you naturally do well. This doesn't mean it's something that you're passionate about. It doesn't necessarily mean a talent. It means something that you do well, like a life skill or something like that. So it could absolutely be cooking. It could be learning how to live off the land. Like I think that's absolutely a strength. Now, I don't have either one of those, but I'm just telling you some. My strength happens to be time management and organization. That is something that by the time I was homeschooling, I was very proficient in, and that was just a natural strength of mine that kind of got awakened in college, and I found out how well I was able to kind of put two and together and do all the things. So that was a strength that translated into my daughter is very good on a schedule and very good with routine. And actually, most kids are. It's something I've talked about in a recent training of mine. But that is a strength that God gave me to directly meet the need of homeschooling. Now, P for the SPOT analysis is going to be passion. Now, this does not matter if you're good at it. What are you passionate about? What do you enjoy doing? Maybe it's something that you're not very good at. Again, it doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is, what are you passionate about? Now, so I just had a list of things that I wrote down that could be things that you're good at or that you're passionate about. Now, for me, singing, dancing, reading, journaling, making cards, playing games, those are all things I really enjoy. And those are all things I could very easily put into my homeschool world. And I have. Now, in the beginning, I didn't put some of those things in like card making or playing games. Because in my mind, I come from the public school world. Those of y'all that don't know me, I have a degree in education. So I come from the world where school means for 8 hours a day, you sit at a desk and you do workbooks. That's it. You break for lunch, you break for recess. There's not a lot of talking, there's no socializing. You very much sit at a desk 8 hours a day and you do work. So when I first started homeschooling, guess what I thought homeschooling was supposed to look like? It took me a while to realize that education comes in all forms and sizes, and God gave me specific passions that I could turn around and use as an educational tool in my homeschool journey. So we have strengths, we have passions. O is opportunity. Opportunity is going to be, what are the opportunities that you have that you can grow? Now, for this, God's going to throw opportunities at you in very unlikely situations. It may be your child comes to you with a subject they'd like to learn, and maybe that is God saying, hey, this is an opportunity for you to grow in this area. For me, my daughter is really getting into cooking. Guess who is a really bad cook? Right here. Like, don't know nothing about it. Now, I've gotten better. I've been married for almost 10 years, so I've learned some things along the way, but I would not call myself a cook, and I don't like doing it. However, that was God's opportunity for me Say, hey, your daughter is really liking to cook. That's an opportunity for you to take an interest in her, put in a little extra time, and learn how to do that skill a little bit better. Now, what we've decided, and I haven't even told her yet, so she's looking at me like if y'all could see her right now across the table. She's like, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? I've decided to take 1 day a month and make an actual healthy meal with her, a new recipe. So appetizer, main course, and dessert, all from scratch with really good ingredients. Now, I'm going to have Pizza Hut on the backup dialer just in case, because Lord knows what these about to turn out like. But I'm not jumping in and saying, okay, I'm going to make all of my family's meals from scratch from here on out. But I can absolutely take 1 day a month and make that part of our school day and do a lot of cooking and a lot of trial and error probably to come up with a dish that we may not normally eat, or maybe it's a dish we do eat, like chicken Alfredo that we don't make from scratch, that we can turn around and make it from scratch, put a really nice dessert along with it, a nice appetizer, make it like a well-rounded meal. So that's something we're going to implement into our school. Now, maybe opportunity for you is seeing someone like me come on and talk about time management, and you're like, oh no, I don't want to do that. That's God's way of saying, hey, your homeschool could use a little bit more structure. Maybe time management is a skill that you could work on. So we're going to have opportunities, things that we can grow in, come at us from all different sides. It's our job to look at the opportunity presented and take it serious enough to apply it to our life. Now, T is talent. T is what are the things that you are good at naturally. Now, for me, it's music. Music is something I could easily put into our homeschool because it's something I've always been relatively good at. So that is a huge advantage that I have over some moms. Now, you may be particularly artsy. That is not me. Maybe you're really good at drawing and watercolors and you know all the technical terms for that. And that's something that maybe God specifically gave you because he knew that your child would thrive in that environment. Maybe literature is one of them. Now, another talent of mine would be the English language as far as grammar and spelling and that kind of stuff goes. Now, that doesn't give someone an excuse to not teach their child that subject well, if that's not their talent, but that is something I particularly enjoy. I like writing, I like reading, I like putting sentences together and making words flow kind of seamlessly into a really nice, bright story. Now, on the flip side, history is not my forte. I'm not very well educated in history. So that is something that I have had to learn as my daughter learns. So again, I'm not using anything as an excuse not to do a certain subject well. I'm just saying if you have certain talents, that could absolutely be a sign that those things are supposed to be more important in your homeschool than maybe in somebody else's. So final thoughts just to wrap it all up. Now that you have the SWOT analysis, make sure you go over to the blog. And again, that will be linked up in the comment or up in the area, whatever, on Facebook, whatever that area up there is. It'll be linked up there so you can go over and get the notes yourself, get the freebie list for you. It'll also be linked down. If you're watching this on YouTube, the blog's already live. Go to the description section, check it out, get all the freebies. I don't know, my kid is literally dancing across from me right now. Looks like she broke down for a TikTok dance. She's 8, she does not have TikTok. But if you could see her, she's literally doing this right now. Supposed to be doing a math worksheet, but sorry. Supposed to be doing a reading worksheet. She's done with math, but instead she's dancing. Listen, if y'all know, you know. If y'all have kids like this, drop me a 1 in the comments. At any given moment, squirrel. Or they're randomly dancing, or they're drawing on their leg, or whatever they're doing. But final thoughts. You guys have all heard the saying that no one can teach our kids better than we can. God gave us our kids. We're the only ones that can educate them to their fullest ability. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with that saying. Here's the reason why. Do I think it's true? Absolutely. God gave us, within us, everything that we need to meet our child's educational need. He pieced it together perfectly. It's not a coincidence that our children were given to us for the season. However, most people, when they say that saying, they're not saying it in relation to, I'm going to find my homeschool superpowers and meet my child's every need. They're saying it as a way to buck the public school system. And when someone's telling them, oh, well, maybe you should do some English with your child, like you're really not doing any actual work. You're just kind of like letting them stay home and watch TV. Oh no, God gave me these kids. I can homeschool them the very best. Like you don't know what you're talking about. No one knows my kid like me. So that's why I have a love-hate relationship with that saying. It's true, but it takes work. It's not that God gave you this kid to homeschool and you can do no wrong. That's not a thing. God gave you that kid to homeschool and he expects you to rise to the occasion and do it to the very best of your ability. Just like if you were out in the world working a job and getting paid to show up and do this. If, well, God is watching us, right? Like, let's just pretend I student taught. So let's pretend that he's our advisory teacher and he's watching us. You'll know instantly when I say this, are you teaching your children to the very best of your ability, or are you kind of like slacking on it and just doing the fun and the easy things because you don't want to actually put the work in to teach them? I know not a lot of homeschool consultants are going to talk like that. Everyone is, oh, you are enough, and don't let anyone tell you how to school your kids. I'm not that person. I'm the person that's going to show up and be real with you and tell you that your kid is only a kid for a season. It's our job to educate them well so they can go be productive citizens and do whatever God has for them to do. So it's our job to show up to the best of our ability, and that might mean working on ourselves a little bit to educate our kids so they can become the best versions of themselves. And that's something I've had to tell myself more than one time. So I'm preaching to the choir here. I understand that. Like a lot of y'all are fantastic homeschool moms. But if you're watching this and maybe you're new and you're like, I don't know if I want to do this, just know that it does take a lot of work. It is not a wake up in the morning at 10 o'clock and you don't have to like do any real school all day. It's school. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time and it takes a decent amount of money as well, which is something a lot of homeschool creators also don't talk about. The raw side of homeschooling is it is a lot more work than if you just threw your kids in school and let someone else do it. But it's worth it. And that is what I want to get across to everybody watching this. So I'd love to hear some of your homeschool superpowers. So let me know in the comments, what are some things you're naturally good at? What are some passions that you have that you've been able to incorporate into your homeschool? What are some opportunities that maybe you've taken to become better in a certain area? And what are some of your natural talents that you know God gave you specifically for your children? So I'm excited to hear some of your answers. I hope y'all have an awesome rest of your Tuesday. And I should see y'all next Monday unless I don't feel good again. Hopefully, we don't have a repeat of yesterday. So I will see y'all next Monday. Have an awesome rest of your school day. Talk to you later.